So we've been talking about John Oliver's, what I consider to be a dishonest smear job on a third party, although he paid lip service to we need third parties, and then he did the underhanded attacks on Jill Stein. And so let's just, I'm here with Dave Anthony. Dave Anthony, know him from the Dollop podcast. Hey, Dave.
Hi.
All right. And so here, let's just, so here's some more. And his whole framing is wrong. Right? So, well, I've told you this before. When someone on the left wants to debate someone on to their left, they first smear them. And that's what John Oliver's doing. He didn't take Jill seriously, and he's using all these little techniques to bait and switch you. And, well, here, let's watch. Here, first of all, he doesn't understand the whole thing, and here's proof.
In America's third parties, because when your two main options are depressing, any third choice seems good.
No, that's not true, John. When your first two main options are depressing, and a third option is, say, Ted Cruz, they're all depressing. Hey, let's say your option is Hillary Clinton or Don Tiny Hands Trump, and your third option is Sarah Palin. It doesn't look good. Hey, let's say your third option. So, no, you're just wrong. That's just wrong. So that's just a wrong framing. No, if your two first options are horrible, the third option looks good if it's a good option. Okay.
If you're at a KFC Taco Bell and you see a bunch of pigeons eating something in the parking lot, you might well think, hang on, what have they got over there?
So now what he's doing is he's saying that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are the Taco Bell and KFC, and Jill Stein's policies, which are fantastic, are the equivalent of birdseed. That's what he just did. That's like, and he's not embarrassed, by the way. He's doing it with a straight face, and the sycophants in his audience are laughing along because they don't realize what he's doing. He's doing it very quickly and very deft. He's a very good comedian. He knows how to deliver it. But what he's delivering here is propaganda. This is not comedy, right? Because he's using comedy to disinform you. Because what he should have did, if you were inside of a Taco Bell and a KFC and you looked outside and you saw maybe a Chipotle, maybe there's a Whole Foods. If Jill Stein is supposed to be those birds,
right, that's
not right. Jill Stein would be maybe a Whole Foods or a Chipotle. I'd go, I don't want to be at this Taco Bell or this KFC. Maybe I'll go over to the Whole Foods and I'll get a whole organic chicken wrap.
Is this segment called Punching Down?
This is called Punching Down. Well, this is called misinforming.
This is the ultimate example of punching down with Taco Bell and KFC. As the comparisons
to the third party, Jill Stein.
Punching down.
So what we could do is we could look out the window and we could see a better restaurant. And that's what I look when I see Jill Stein. But John doesn't care because John doesn't eat at KFC or Taco Bell, and he certainly isn't going to eat the birdseed. He's a freaking millionaire. He's got a private chef. So he doesn't care that we get stuck eating the shit sandwich inside the KFC. He doesn't care about us. He says, you can't have that. You got to eat your shit sandwich. Meanwhile, he's at home eating gourmet food. I'm going to use a horrible analogy like he did. So what he doesn't do is say the menu. So what he's really saying, so if this is Clinton and that's Donald Trump and that's Jill Stein, let's look at the menu, right? So let's look at Jill Stein's menu. Her first menu is she will cancel all college student debt.
But that's a great idea if you don't want the economy to derail.
So what John Oliver says is that she's kooky crazy because you can't just cancel it with quantitative easing. That's not, you can. He's wrong. He doesn't even understand how quantitative easing works. Which is another video. We're gonna do that later. But right now, I'm just gonna say she will cancel college student debt, which is about $1 trillion. Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq War, which is $4 trillion now, $6 trillion. It's gonna be $80 trillion. So again, she's so stupid. She's not gonna vote for a frickin' war that costs trillions, but she will vote to give us student loan relief, which we could so totally afford. Go ahead,
Jimmy. Look, Clinton's plan is very good here. She's gonna take a percentage or two off that debt, so that'll fix. If you have $150,000 in student loan and someone takes a percentage off, now you're living. You're just living. You're living free. You're buying a house. You're buying cars. You're back in it, baby. A percent.
That's what Hillary Clinton's plan. So I'll take this plan. By the way, totally doable. 100% doable. Hey, you could spend $1 trillion on the Iraq War, or $1 trillion that you could spend $1 trillion on nuclear bombs, or you can spend what we're going to do.
Or how much fucking money did we give the banks for the bailout? Fuck off, give a little bit
well,
back.
Quantitative easing took the Federal Reserves from somewhere around $2 trillion to $4 trillion. So something around $2 trillion in quantitative easing. Totally okay with that, but we couldn't do $1 trillion to actually help our economy, which is what that is, because we never did a jobs program. We did a bank bailout. We never did a jobs bailout. We never bailed out Main Street. And that's what people know, why half the country is poor right now or living in poverty. And guess what? Half the country doesn't vote because they feel disempowered, which is what they want you to feel. So this is her menu. The second thing is she'll make public college education free. You can't do that. We can't have things like other countries. We couldn't possibly do that. We're only the richest country the face of the earth has ever seen. We couldn't. Again, she's a fairy duster like Bernie Sanders. Go ahead.
I went to UC Santa Barbara. I believe when I started, I believe it was $365 a quarter.
And now it's $365,000 a quarter.
I mean, it's insane now. And why?
No, there's no. Why? Because the neoliberals, because that money goes to Wall Street because they loan you the money to go to college. And it gets guaranteed. Number 3, she supports ending the racist war on drugs. Hillary Clinton still thinks we need to study marijuana. She's still not sure about it.
Is that true?
Yeah. By the way, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton's drug war, they ratcheted up. I'm reading this right now. They exploded the prison population. You know, there's more black people in prison now than were slaves. Do you know that?
Oh, it's the new slavery system.
It's the new slavery.
They're working there. They're not sitting around idly. They're making them work.
And they use prison labor now. So she's going to get rid of the racist war on drugs, which Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton ratcheted up beyond Ronald Reagan's wettest dream. They ratcheted it up and exploded the prison population. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Okay, but he didn't do this. See, John Oliver didn't do this. He didn't compare the menus. What he did was he smeared her. That's what he did, and he did a lot of bullshit comedy techniques. He bait and switched you, and he said that, the birds. That's not no. He had horrible framing. Let's go another one. How about we'll reduce unnecessary military spending?
Okay, well, that's cute because they would kill her.
That's adorable. They would kill her. They would kill her. So maybe she is nuts. She's kooky to do that. She's going to fight against climate change. Hillary Clinton will accelerate climate change. She's exporting fracking around the world. Dave?
That is one thing that makes me completely insane, that people are acting like she is the answer to climate change. Just because Trump is a lunatic when it comes to climate change doesn't mean that she's doing something that is good for climate change. She will be bad. It's the difference between a 25-foot sea level rise and a 19-foot sea level rise.
Hillary.
That's what you're choosing.
So Hillary Clinton says she accepts the science on climate change, but she doesn't accept the science on fracking.
Aren't you worse if you accept the science on climate change and then don't do what needs to be done? You are worse than the guy who doesn't believe in it.
She supports campaign finance reform. Hillary Clinton wants to get rid of Citizens United, but keep all the other stuff. Again, John Oliver didn't do, this is what he didn't do. He did a really lazy, it wasn't lazy. I bet it took effort to smear Jill like the way he did. Well, he took all the ones in the mainstream media, and then he added a couple more. Here we go. Opposes TPP. Oh my God, she opposes TPP and NAFTA, which is what Hillary Clinton did, and she's going to do TPP. Barack Obama right now is pushing it. Again, this would be the menu for Jill Stein and the menu for Trump and Hillary Clinton. Horrible garbage dumpster.
I would like to see free trade for dentists, lawyers, and doctors.
Yes, which we don't have.
Let them be educated in Mexico and at accredited universities, and then let them come over here and do their business.
Yes.
See how that goes.
Let's see how that goes.
Free trade.
She's going to bring home. She supports single payer public health. Hillary Clinton at the top of her lungs screamed at Bernie Sanders. It will never happen. Public single payer.
You know what? It's going to happen at the state level. It's going to happen at the state level now because of what's happening with Obamacare. It's going to happen in states.
But it won't happen on the federal level because the federal level's bought.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's much more than that is true.
It will be a battle, but it's going to happen on the state level because they're not going to have a choice.
We can't have single payer, Dave. We're only the richest. We can't have what Canada has. We couldn't possibly have the health outcomes of Costa Rica. We couldn't. What? Right, John? John Oliver. This is great. It was great. So this is what John Oliver didn't do. He marginalized the already marginalized, which is an offense to comedy. You didn't let down the country. You didn't only let down your viewers. You didn't only let down the Green Party and anybody who's interested in. You let down comedy by doing what you did. You used comedy for evil. So here's another one of hers. She's gonna and the Patriot Act, which Hillary Clinton's for, the surveillance state. The didn't bring that up, did you, John? That Hillary Clinton's for that? But no, shit. This is bird feed. This is bird feed, Dave.
It might be the worst thing that she is for.
She's going to provide a legal pathway to citizenship, create a new deal for 25 million new jobs,
which is a no-brainer.
No brainer. Green New Deal, no brainer. And she's going to close tax loopholes and end corporate welfare, which Hillary Clinton will again accelerate.
She's gonna give all those people holding the money in foreign accounts a tax break to bring it back. You know what she's not gonna do though is give you and I. So what do you say? Me and you keep our money in an offshore account, and then we say we won't bring it back unless you give us a tax break. Which I believe is blackmail.
I'm pretty sure that's blackmail.
She's gonna let that happen.
So this is what John Oliver didn't do, and I wish he would have. Everybody, I don't watch John Oliver's show.
Okay, I do sometimes.
But I hear it's great. People say a lot of good things about his show.
This is not a normal thing for him. He usually gets into the issues.
Yeah.
He usually does.
Yeah.
In this circumstance, he did not.
Yeah. So this is him not sticking his chin out. This is him not sticking his neck out because he didn't want to incur the wrath. I don't know why. I'm not a psychiatrist or a mind reader. I don't know why he did it. I'm just saying he did it.
He's of the professional class. He is a coastal person doing very well and not knowing what's happening out in the rest of the country. And so he wants everything to stay the same. And that's what he's getting. Unfortunately, it's not going to stay the same.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to stay the same because half the people in the country are poor.